If you're using AI for coding, you may run into a scenario where it starts to hallucinate and not really performing well. Today, I'm going to show you a few tricks where you can use documentation and logs and traces to enrich the context. So here's an example for an AI agent using OpenAI Agent SDK, which hands off to an FAQ agent and then the seat booking agent. And we're going to modify this to add another agent to order food. And then we're going to do a tricky scenario where we ask multiple things in a single request. And we can see this thing falling apart and how we can use the logging and additional information in the documentation to improve that workflow. So let me fast forward with the video after I add the food ordering agents. This is a normal request that you may send to either Copilot or Cursor. Basically, hey, add a food ordering agent and make sure it works the same way like the other agent, right? So this is what you will get. You will get a food ordering agent with a tool to place a food order, and then the hands off attached at the end. Now, like I say, we're gonna do a very tricky scenario where we're gonna ask for multiple things and see how it actually performs. So it's starting out with the triage agent and then seat booking agent, but for the meal order, it actually did not do anything, right? So that's a problem. It's supposed to take multiple tasks and call multiple agents. So let's see how we're gonna fix this. So one thing we did was to add the documentation for the agent pattern here. It's actually very helpful for the AI to learn from other example. And then we're gonna say we want to add more loggings and tell the AI to read the logs and then produce the code based on the logs. So we're gonna start with requirements. I'm gonna type really fast here with 4 requirements. So for the first one, we say learn from the example, write the logs, run the test based on the logs, and make sure to check for the Python syntax so there's no error. So let's run this. You may have to babysit through this entire process because the AI may prompt you to approve a certain command line. Since this is a large request, it actually took some time to finish, but there's a few things we can learn from this. So the AI basically tells us instead of using the handoff pattern, it's suggesting to you agent as a tool patterns. Okay, so that's one thing. And then it actually now adding logs. So every time it runs, it actually add logs to tell which agent actually being called and the conversation. Okay, so that's the second thing. And we can look at the summary at the end. The summary say that it learned from the agent patterns. So it studied from this folder here, and it has some comprehensive logging and it's enhanced the triage agent here, and you can see that it actually removed the hands-up patterns, and instead it add the tools. So you see the agent as a tool here. And one thing very important is actually is validate the loggings. So it's all the agent are logs and all the tools call are tracks. So that's the important because we're gonna use this later on to enrich the context if we need to. So let's keep everything. Okay, let's test this again. And now you may notice there's a logs right here. It's a pop up. And here we can monitor the actual tool being called. Okay, so look like it did what it's supposed to do. It changed the seat and then it ordered the chicken meal. And you can see here in the log, it's identified the seat booking request. And after that, the food ordering request. So that's basically the whole idea behind this. You can use AI to generate code, but you may run into the risk of a lot of hallucinations and it may not perform well. But if you enrich the context with documentations as well as persistent logging and tracing, it can help you to improve the workflow and reduce hallucinations and actually improve the code quality a lot. If you want to understand how AI use a log to improve the code, look at the right side here. It actually execute a command line to analyze the logs. And if you look at the analyze logs py, it create a log analyzer, very interesting, and it's analyze the agent usage. So it's load all the logs file over here and make sure that everything run correctly as designed. As a next step, I would like to get some ideas on what we can build together. So you can scan the QR code and submit your idea, and we can build it live on the screen.